Hello. I'm a film hunter and this is Vier Good General Die Bank. Erlin. Shooting a film. Peter, formerly a famous actor, instructs students doing their thesis work. Chris is boxing in the ring. A man trains a group of girls in a gym. He then strikes up a conversation with his mistress and tells her of his plans to open his own gym. An advertising agency employee named Max publicly tells his bosses what he thinks of him. Now he intends to start his own business. Max threatens to destroy his former firm. He is led out of the office by security guards. Tobias works as a financial consultant in a bank. Schumacher, the owner of the bank, enters his office and criticizes Tobias, saying that the consultant is of no use to him. Tobias complains that the bank's research department hasn't sent him the latest stock market information. Max tells his parents that he has left the company and is going to start his own business. He checks his account from his tablet, but finds no money there. Around the same time, Chris and Peter discover that their accounts are practically zeroed out. All three go to the bank, where they are told that Tobias, the financial consultant, is to blame. Max, Chris, and Peter scandalize, and the bank security throws them out on the street. All three go to the nearest bar and try to drown their sorrows in alcohol. Schumacher walks into Tobias' office. The boss accuses his employee of being to blame for the bank customers losing money. He says again that he didn't have the right information. He points the boss to his computer monitor, but it turns out that all the data is there. Tobias claims that Schumacher set him up to get a reason to fire him. After a little scandal, the bank owner informs him that Tobias is fired and can pack his bags. Tobias ends up going to the same bar where the crook heroes had previously entered. They track Tobias down, kick in the door to his apartment, tie him up, and threaten him. Tobias tells his former customers that the bank owner is to blame. The men decide to rob the bank to recover their lost funds. The four gather in the basement of Peter's house and discuss a plan to rob the bank. Tobias says that all the employees have panic buttons, and to open the safe you need to know the secret code, which changes every day. Ralph, the bank's top manager, knows the code. It is decided to appoint Chris as the driver. The robbery must first be rehearsed to see how soon the police will show up at the robbery scene. A homeless man bursts into the bank office. He threatens a robbery. The officers pounce on the vagrant. It turns out that he has a candy bar in his hand. The police arrive just over 4 minutes later. Elizabeth, who is in charge of the bank robbery unit of the police, arrives at the bank. She interrogates everyone who was in the bank at the time of the homeless man's visit, including Peter. Chris meets his buddies on the street who have recently been released from prison. At night, Chris, Peter, Max and Tobias steal a van from a parking lot that the owner has not locked. The boys realize that Tobias can't go on the case because he has a motive. So to provide an alibi, they decide to send him to the stadium where the Pope is arriving. Chris, dressed as a bum, causes a scandal in the bank. The guards escort him out. He continues to taunt the guards, beats them and handcuffs them. The disguised Peter and Max burst into the bank. Max puts the audience on the floor. Peter learns the code from Ralph at gunpoint in the bathroom. The safe is opened. Peter fills the bags with money. Meanwhile, Chris tries to start the van by shorting out the ignition contacts. Peter and Max jump out to the street through the side doors and the friends manage to escape the scene. In the meantime, Tobias is at the stadium where the Pope is to address the faithful. Tobias throws off his coat and jumps out naked onto the running track, where the Pope's car is moving. The whole stadium sees him. Eventually, the police take him away. The friends on the vacant lot douse the van with gasoline and set it on fire. In the evening, the friends celebrate their success in the basement of Peter's house. But suddenly, they discover that all the bills they have stolen, to the tune of €2,100,000, are marked. This is the work of Elizabeth. Who found the incident with the homeless man suspicious? Elizabeth calls all the robbers except Max in for questioning. On the surveillance camera, one of the robbers has a tattoo of a Japanese character on his arm. Chris has the exact same tattoo. The friends decide to set up Schumacher instead. And Max has to seduce Elizabeth. She is single and looking for partners on an online dating site. Max meets Elizabeth. They like each other. During a date at a cafe, Max suggests a theory to Elizabeth: the bank has been robbed by its own director. Meanwhile, Tobias and Chris sneak into Schumacher's house and plant a bag of marked bills worth $1,700,000 on him. Ex-convicts acquaintances of Chris are caught. Both have Japanese character tattoos on their arms. They claim Schumacher was their insider. Schumacher's house is searched and marked money is found. It turns out that he was scamming offshore. Elizabeth closes the case. No one will look for the remaining $400,000 now.